Hi, Mom. I'm back to this thing, which will hopefully finish soon. Oh, sorry. And let's, does that make that? Like this is still two. Yeah, that's a bit better. Okay. And can I? No. We want it from here, like that. Yeah. Okay. Hi, Paolo. How is everyone today? I was dealing with some killer fatigue earlier in the week. Seems to have resolved itself a little. Not wanting to cook for Easter because I'm a horrible person. Oh, don't worry about that. We ordered in last night. So a lot of the time, actually, my assistant cooks for me, which is really, really nice. I enjoy cooking, but it's not, you know, just as a routine, it's not always fun. Then I had, yesterday I was out during the day. Destiny was not in. I was on a jury for the local university's graduating fine arts class has their graduate show, and I was on the regional public art committee juries an award that it gives some of the students an exhibition at one of the libraries. So just a little thing, and I was out for the morning with that, and then I came home and just kind of crashed at some point. So it came dinner time, we didn't want to cook, either of us. We ended up ordering in from a Chinese restaurant that was a real disappointment. It's just one of those reminders, like, you could just cook at home and it's a lot better. What are you planning on cooking for Easter? I actually need to email the dean back from the fine arts department. I was a real holdout on one of the pieces, so we had a jury. One of the regional staff members facilitating, and then 3 of the Public Art Advisory Committee members making the decision for this this exhibition. And because there was some horse trading, because there's other awards and other exhibitions, and so basically one piece can't be in 2 places at once, and so we had our top 5 choices, but we had our top 5 choices. One of the pieces couldn't be exhibited because of exhibition constraints, and one we had to swap out because the dean I think, or the, whatever, the university president, was going to be showing a piece in their office. And so one of our alternates, whatever, we had the same first and second choice, or we had one of our pieces was the same first and two of our choices, sorry, were their first and second choice. So we had to choose some alternates. And so the alternate we ended up going with, I was the holdout. I didn't like it very much. I was in favor of some other things. It was a realist painting, or pair of paintings of two locations in the city. And they weren't bad, but there were issues and they were clearly rushed. And so, you know, as I was the holdout, we had all of these discussions about, you know, what is my issue with these? Why do other people like them? Why don't I like them? And it came down to use of reference, basically. They were painted, they were very rushed. And it was clear to me that they were rushed. And I was having trouble verbalizing, expressing what I was seeing that was bothering me specifically. They were rushed and they were painted from photos, which, I mean, I don't have a problem with painting from photos. Initially I was like, I can see the photo reference, like it's a problem. And I have the Dean of Arts talking to me about like, well, there's nothing wrong with photo reference. Like, yes, I know, I'm aware. So for reference, for, you know, context, I am a realist painter. I use photos all the time. I am not, you know, there's parts of the art world who don't like realism or don't like photo references being used, you know, hyper-traditionalists or what have you, and that is not me. I'm not against the use of photos. But if you're going to be using photos, like I feel like your photos should be a tool. They shouldn't be your only, you know, one photo shouldn't be your only reference, and you shouldn't, if you're being religious to like trying to copy a photo without adding something with your painting, without changing something, then why not just use the photo? And so I had a bit of a, shall we say, a healthy debate with one of my studio mates, like two other artists who I'm close with, both of them on this jury, and one staff member, and then like the professor for this class and the Dean of Arts at the university. So, and I'm just being this holdout where I'm like, I don't like these pieces, I don't think they're well done, I think they're rushed. And pointing out areas, and they're like, hey, whatever. But like, I think we're all a little bit fussier when it comes to, you know, our own field of expertise. Like, there were other pieces, not that were going to be chosen necessarily, but for example, my studio mate, who was there as well, is a bead artist, a sculptor, and obviously she had some much more harsh critiques for some of the sculptural works and installations and textile pieces, which makes sense. You know, it's closer to what she's familiar with, whereas those things to me just look like, oh wow, you know, you did this thing, that's great, I couldn't do that. So it makes sense that I would be harsher on the pieces that are closer to my comfort zone, but I do need to, we sent over yesterday a, you know, a short blurb for each of the chosen pieces, just like recognizing what was good about it and what have you, just a little very, very friendly critique. And I think I need to go reply to that email because I finally like solidified in my head what I couldn't quite verbalize yesterday about what I was seeing in the two pieces that I was very, very fussy about and that I was the holdout about. That, you know, why I was being difficult. So. I plan to cook nothing if I can, but there has been talking about family reunion happening, and when that happens I can test some form of dessert. So Destiny is downstairs right now making some form of, actually I think I know what it is. It's probably some delicious cinnamon cookies, but they smell so good. Oh. Much, much better than the food we ordered in yesterday, which was terrible. Anyway, I have to say, judging the graduating show, it was an interesting experience. There's definitely quite a range. I mean, this is the undergrad fine arts class. So the university has an MFA, and it's actually a very like respected program because it's fully funded. So and they only take 4 students a year, but the 4 students get paid for attending. Like, they don't have their grants and work and what have you more than cover their tuition. So, which is nice. It's not, whatever. So this, the graduate program at the university is highly regarded because it's one of the few fully funded MFAs in the country. They take very few students, and so they're able to attract some great quality students, and they produce great work. It's a great program. The undergraduate program I kind of expected would be, I mean, I didn't really know that much about the undergraduate program, but I figured that because there is a fully funded graduate program at the same university, that the undergraduate program, like the undergraduate fine arts program, would also be of a similar caliber. I mean, I guess the gentlest way to say this is it is not. It just, in terms of like, I guess it just doesn't attract, it's not really an arts university. Like, it's not really an arts-focused university. It's kind of a fluke that they have. Like, they're very well known for their computer science and engineering programs. They are not so very well known for their arts programs. So even though they have this fully funded MFA program that's actually very well regarded in the arts world, it doesn't really carry down to the undergraduate program. Now, I mean, they do have some good faculty, they have some good resources, but it's just not, it's not the same caliber of program at all. And so it's just, there's a very real range, where some of the students were really like, it was weird walking in, where we had to ask the faculty, because we were looking at these pieces and some of them were like, okay, this clearly, like, you know, somebody is doing this fascinating thing with like woodcut printing, and it's like, first of all, it's, you know, developing that skill to even start that project is an undertaking, but even for a skilled artist, that's going to take a long time to execute, you know, a lot of focused work, and trial and error and development. Whereas, you know, some of the others were like, okay, so you know, this was done in a weekend, you know, in between partying. So, or at the party. We had to ask, like, how long did these students have for these pieces? Because there was quite a range, and it's interesting. So you'll have, you know, there are definitely some students there who, one of the other jurors, who's actually, she's taught at the university, said it actually, a lot of the more focused students, they're transfer students from the engineering program, so they're clever, they're smart, they got into one of the top engineering universities as an engineer, and then they decide that they would prefer to do art. They're going to follow their passions, their dreams. That sounds familiar. But that those students then, you know, they're at that university not because they were applying to an arts degree, but they, you know, by the time they're there, they're taking it quite seriously, and they are clever, academically driven students, whereas some of the others just come in from surrounding rural areas, and they're just going to wherever the local university is, and they go into the arts program, fine arts, because they're not particularly academically inclined, and they don't, you know, that seems friendly, it seems fun, and that so that there is this huge range of, there's people who are taking this extremely seriously, and there's others who are just not so much. It was also very, very strange because it was, there's no theme to the show, right? It's a graduate show, but the students choose what pieces, what mediums represent them best. So you'll have not only like this huge range of subject matter, this huge range of media, where you have sculptural works, and you have video works, and you have oil paintings, and you have acrylics, and you have installations. Like, it's all mixed together. Somebody's showing their tattoo designs. So it was very interesting. It was very, very interesting for sure. But I think I need to go explain my being an asshole. My being the difficult juror to the dean of art in words that she can express to her students. it's a weird reversal too, because I spend so much time applying to grants and putting together artist statements and developing my own work and trying to fix my own shortcomings as an artist to then turn around and judge other people. Today we got 30 Celsius. That is weird and alarming. We had a few warm days, not that warm, but a few warm days in the past few weeks. But it's been cold again. It's been like negative 15 or so. Really bad wind chill. Yesterday, walking across the campus was killer. I wasn't really prepared for it being so. We have around the freezing point and windy. Yeah. So it was like actually like -5 or something yesterday, but then with the wind chill, it was like -15. Yeah, I was definitely not prepared for the wind chill walking across the campus yesterday. Really glad that my friend gave me a ride, because the arts building sort of tucked away from the transit hub. Waterloo region will be stormy tonight. Oh, interesting. That's interesting. I need to take Ember out. She was really tired when we got home yesterday, so she hasn't gotten like a... She came to the jury selection thing with me. and she was really tired when we got home, but that's like, you know, it's work tired. She's not, she hasn't had a run in days, so I need to take her to the park or something, but... Oh, I was at UW. Sorry, I think you came in part way through my ramble about this. So the UW Fine Arts undergraduate class has their graduate exhibition open. It opened yesterday, and I'm on the public art advisory committee for the region of Waterloo, and so one of the awards for the graduating students is some of them exhibit at the Air Gallery, or the Air Library. So I was on the selection committee for that, on the jury. So I was at UW yesterday morning through midday. Unless it's the wedding cake building. No, it's... Okay, so it's sort of tucked behind, Waterloo Plaza. So outside of Ring Road. I don't know what the wedding cake building is. That's kind of amusing. Yeah. Like closer to Philip. Yeah, I know, that's almost like not even the university. They run a great free drop-in life drawing thing on, I should check which evenings it's on now, I haven't been in a while. It used to be Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I don't want to promise that if I don't know. Because I haven't been this year. It has the arts library, it has been there for decades. White and square. Oh, okay, yes, I know what you're talking about, but, yeah, no, not that. No, if you know the parking lots around UW, it's Q Lot, but whatever. But yeah, no, it's outside of Ring Road. It's like, it's, yeah, not even, in the whatever, the campus cluster. Yeah, I don't think that, well, yeah, I don't think that there's any free parking anywhere at the university. At least not during the day. Like, there are times where you can probably get away with... There are times where there might be free parking. Like in the evening. And certainly there's things like UW Plaza and stuff that would empty out in the evening and presumably not be pay parking. I don't know. Yeah, so the bus terminal is actually the other way to locate it. Sort of like in between UW Plaza and the new bus terminal, you have the arts building and a few other things. But the bus terminal, not the... yeah. Anyway, whatever. Not the, ion tracks, which pass sort of closer to. Yeah, it's hard, honestly, like, it's hard to remember, like, what it was even some of that area before, because it was just so dead. And now there's this whole second bustling area. Like, what was over there before all of those? Before all of the new residences and quantum computing? Like, I definitely had been through that area. but it just sort of blew up. And it's hard to even remember, like, what was in some of these little... The ion tracks on the trail. I have to see photos. I was there off and on from 75 to 84 in science and engineering so long ago. Yeah, so my husband was at UW from 2006 until 20, off for a while, and then he went back to school until 2013. No, I thought, like, from 2011, 2012 to 2013, we were actually living here. So, like, he'd go to university. I wasn't really hanging out as much, but for the first few years in there, like 2007 to 2009 or so, I was at U of T, but I was coming here on weekends. Every other weekend or so. And I'd go through UW a bunch. I mean, Jordan was there. A whole bunch of my friends went to UW. And they all lived around, like, in university residences or in one of the, rental houses or something nearby. So I'm sure I walked through that area a whole bunch, but even just placing, like, what was there before what's there now? It is kind of wild. It all just popped up and, like, okay, here's a whole new section of city. Oh, in other news, I doubled my my garden plot just recently for this year. So that is going to be interesting. I have some farm level land now. So this is not at my house. The story here is I have an unofficial community garden plot in a neighbor's yard. I feel like I've taken over a whole bunch of the neighborhood, just like taken over neighbors' property that I'm now using for my purposes. That belongs to someone else. So I mean, it's cool that I have nice neighbors, but first of all, there's my next door neighbors who, so there's some, we have next door neighbors who have, it's really more of a front yard. There's a retaining wall on the edge of our driveway that the previous owners of the house next door had built up that's actually on our property. This was like a deliberate, they were trying to steal property. Everyone recognizes this, including the current neighbors. But the sliver of property that's actually ours above that retaining wall is only a few feet. And then Ember likes going outside, and our yard on that side, I mean, it's basically just driveway and then that retaining wall. So we have her on a tether. She climbs up onto the neighbor's yard. I mean, she climbs up over the retaining wall, but like her span, Ember's area, stretches way beyond what is, you know, by any stretch our property. And the neighbors are so nice about it. Oh, that's great. Do you want to build a doghouse? Like, no, thank you for letting my dog hang out on your property. So anyway, we're gonna need to, in the next little while, pay to replace that. The retaining wall is crumbling, so it needs to be replaced, and we'll just get a survey so that, you know, we'll pay to replace it with whatever the neighbors want, but we'll put it at the property line. Looking to see trees again. Don't tell my wife, I won't tattle. So my yuzu tree has lots of flowers this year. Again, testing. I can see you. Reload seems to have helped. Okay, good. Yeah, It wasn't me. Wasn't trying to reject your posts. Anyway, and so then down the street, so I had a community garden plot, and my community has 2 official, like, allotment gardens. One of them has very small plots, and one of them has larger plots. And so the first year I was a member of the community garden, I had a small plot. Then I moved to a larger plot down the road. Then the community association president asked me if I'd like some more land closer by, because one of her neighbors, like her next door neighbors, has a big garden. They have like a rental house, and at one point they had tenants who wanted to be farmers, but eventually the farmer tenants went and bought an actual farm. So then they had this big garden in their backyard and didn't have people to tend it, so they asked if they could expand, like if they could host some of the community gardeners, and officially no, but unofficially yes. So I moved from the community garden into this neighbor's garden, and I had a third of it last year. So that spot was already, like, that third of that garden was already larger than the largest community gardens. And then it's like every year my garden gets bigger. So the yeah, the way it was split up, they divided this big plot. So it's like a 10-meter by 10-meter plot, or 30 feet by 30 feet. Something like that. And they divided it into thirds. It's actually not quite a square, but whatever. They divided it into thirds. And so then I had 1/3. Another gardener had another third. And the last third, the homeowners and one of their tenants were splitting. So they each had a 1/6. The other gardener who had the middle third isn't coming back this year. She moved away. So they offered me, do you want both spots? So then at this point, I now have like a 10-meter by 20-meter plot. Yeah, the plot thickens. It does. Did I talk too much? I don't know. We don't see you talking too much. We see you talking a perfectly reasonable amount. But, yeah. Yes, the plot does thicken. But also, so I now have, about, like 200 square meters of plot over there, plus like 50 square meters maybe. Not that much. 30 scattered around my own property. Like, I don't have a big plot on my own property. I just have little strips all over. We've built up everything. Like, wherever I can put garden, I've got garden. But my property is very small. Anyway, that is like farming amounts. I have farming amounts. And so now we're trying to figure out, I'm gonna plant enough tomatoes that we can for the winter, like all of our own tomato paste, sauce, salsas, etc. We're gonna grow a bunch of squashes for squash soup. I'm gonna grow all our own cucumbers for pickles. Our own garlic. I mean, the garlic we were doing anyway, but yeah, I have so much garden space. It's insane. Welcome back. We're talking about my crazy garden, my crazy urban farm, and the fact that I've just taken over apparently the neighborhood with, one neighbor is just hosting my dog on their lawn. Another neighbor is hosting my farm. Who needs to buy land when you can just use all the neighbors' land? So hooray for really, really nice neighbors. And the people with the homeowners with the garden, they're so sweet, and they're like, oh, you know, we just need to check because our grandkids sometimes come by and they run through the garden and, you know, they sometimes pick vegetables. We hope that's okay. Like, yes, of course. Like, I am not gonna begrudge your 5-year-old grandchildren some cherry tomatoes in this farm that you've just provided me for free. Will there be cows? The city doesn't allow cows, unfortunately. The city does allow backyard chickens. These people did, like, when the previous, like, the farmer tenants were there, they apparently did have backyard chickens. So the homeowners have said they're fine. They're fine with so many things. Like, they're so easygoing. But they were like, yeah, if you want to keep chickens, like, keep chickens in your yard. You want me to keep chickens in your yard? Aha. Yeah, so unfortunately we can't have cows, not even small ones. But I could have chickens. I was joking with Jordan that maybe I'll get chickens, and he said, don't you dare get chickens. I said, well, you know, first of all, chickens are really cheap. Like, if you're just getting, like, you know, a few hens. So you can, legally in Kitchener, you can have up to 4 hens. You can't have a rooster. For, like, backyard gardening. And so, yes, I got that. I've now got both of my parents pretending to be my mom, on 2 different computers. I'm surprised that I guess YouTube doesn't really have a problem with you being logged in multiple places and commenting multiple places. I've done it. But I was telling Jordan, like, well, I mean, it's not our yard, it's somebody else's yard. I could probably just go get chickens if I wanted to, you know. And then he's looking over the credit card statement, like, what did you get at the St. Jacobs livestock auction? Oh, popcorn. Well, popcorn being the name of the chicken. Anyway, I am not planning on getting livestock, but of any kind, but it did amuse me that I could. And it does amuse me that I've gone from, how am I going to plant a few tomatoes on my paved lot to suddenly I have a full farm. Popcorn is an excellent chicken name, isn't it? I think it's great. I almost want to have a chicken just to name it Popcorn. You can't just get one chicken. You do need to get, like, at least a couple. they need friends. And I am not, in fact, going to get a chicken to keep in my neighbor's yard. That is just a little bit too crazy, even for me. Although apparently not for my neighbors. Foghorn Leghorn is taken. If you could have a rooster. Anyway, yeah, no, cows are not permitted by the city. Within city limits, you can't keep cows. Not even the really cute little Highland ones. Like the little mini Highland cows. Oh, they're so adorable. The other one could be buckwheat or butter. Yeah, they could. Butter is good. Yeah, popcorn, butter. Hiya, how are you? We're naming my theoretical chickens now because my neighbor has a large enough yard for me to keep chickens. And I don't think I have the time to take care of chickens, but, you know, it's been a real mixed few months, but I'm good. Planning a big garden. Painting lots of tree crusties. Amber would be happy to herd them for you. Yes, she would. Very happy. I found eggs. I found eggs. Oops, sorry, I'm edging off the screen here. Oh. So awkward up here. Okay, I'm gonna move this way, put a protective barrier over here, start working on these. How the classes could versus should bypass by the dream. Yeah, well. Hi, Ember. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hello. Hi. Sit. Yes. Yes, you're my good girl. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. We were just talking about you being good. Yeah, you're a good girl. This is my good girl. This is my good Ember. That's my good Ember, yes. What are we doing, good Ember? Looking at me expectantly? Because I promised you something? Oh, okay. What did I promise you? Do you remember? What did I promise, Ember? Yeah, you want? You're cute talking. I can see your breath. I can tell it's cold in this room because I can see your breath. Silly goofus. Ember, silly goofus. Does Ember want Treatos? Yes, but that's not what you were after, I know. I'm aware. I've missed streams across the board lately. Lame. Yes, yes. Well, I've been not so great about other people's streams myself, but I have started streaming again, which is, you know, that's something. I tend to, whenever I'm having a tough go, just sort of isolate and stop interacting with people. It's not healthy. Hello, Miss Ember. What are we gonna do with you? You're real cute. Yeah, you are. You're real cute. Have you heard of any movement on Sketchbook Exchange? The channel seems to have fizzled, not getting updates from everyone. Yes, sorry, I need to do two things. One of them is track down Belinda. So I will track her down because I think that is the one of the more concerning issues, and then check in with Kelly again, and I'm actually also sitting on a sketchbook that's done, that just needs to be mailed. I'm not a holdup. Like, I'm you know, 2 people behind. Like I sent to Marla sends to yeah, whatever. I'm right before Kelly. So that's my issue. I need to start painting the ones I have. I mean, there's a few backups, but I think there's 2 problems to resolve. So the first one is just that Belinda is missing. So if Belinda's not participating again at all, then we need to adjust things accordingly. I mean, drawings are fine too. Like, you don't, whatever, there's no expectation of, like, it's a sketchbook, right? There's no expectation of any particular outcome here. And this is what I was telling Kelly, like, it is actually totally fine if you just don't have the energy to just send an empty sketchbook. Like you don't even need to put something on the page before sending it on if you're not up to it. You can always send something along to paste in afterwards, or, or just do a mixing chart. Like, it does not matter. There's no expectation of anything in particular. We're all hard on ourselves about, like, what we want to achieve. Anyway, mine is done. It just needs to be mailed. But I mean, actually, part of the reason why I've been sitting on mine is I want to make sure that Kelly sends hers along first. What I wanted to paint. I think incoming since. Yeah. Yeah, so I haven't gotten anything new since last winter? Like late 2022, early 2023, I think. So there's a little bit of slowdown that's happened through Europe a little bit, but that's not, there's two big holdups. So one of them is Belinda, and at this point, like, I'm just not sure if she's not participating or what. We just need to find that out. And then the other one was just Kelly being very ill. And having, like, definitely, you know, very valid, their health issues, etc. But just please just send them along even if they don't have anything in them. I have two with me because I wanted to have more than one so I could send them down under. Right. Okay, so Paolo, you're sending to Belinda? You're sending to Bindi, right? Before you send to Bindi, before you send anything to Australia, let's make sure that sorry, no, you're sending to Teresa, but then Teresa sends to Bindi. Yes? Yes. Oh, okay. Right. Okay. Okay. Nope, that makes sense. Okay. Yes, you can send to Teresa, but before Teresa sends anything along to Bindi, we need to make sure that Bindi is still present, active, involved. Because that's, if we end up stockpiling, like, part of the issue is, what if she's moved? We can't get in touch with her. Yeah. Yeah. So if there's an issue with Bindi, that she's not participating anymore, that she's moved, that she's whatever, like, I'm gonna try, I think I might have an email contact for her. I'm gonna have to dig. Either email or social media. I'm going to sort it out. Because I think I might be able to track down a better contact for her. Oh, yes, sorry. Teresa is on Discord. Bindi just dropped off Discord and is not responding to Discord messages is the issue. Yeah. I mean, I can try private messaging her, but I think she's just not on, like, she's not active on Discord, which is fine. It's been a while. I think I can probably track her down on some other platform. So I think I can probably find out. That's on me. But I'm pretty sure that Bindi got in touch with me via some other thing first before Discord. So I should be able to find her elsewhere and figure out what's going on there. And then the other issue, I think the bigger backup is actually Kelly. Yes, I do believe she has an Instagram account. She has an Instagram account. I think I have an email for her. So I'll reach out after this live stream. I will reach out to Bindi all the ways I can find. Yeah, I think think that goes for everyone. Just like, because it's been a while, make sure that whoever you're sending to is able to receive at their new address. Alex, you've always been great about sending yours, like, whatever. If it takes you 6 months to get through the backlog of, 6 sketchbooks that you're gonna get at once. Because Sterling hasn't received a single one, right? Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know, like, at this point, yeah. And Kelly's been in touch all along, which is good. And like, I've had the conversation with her a few times, it's okay, you can just send them empty, send them whatever. Apparently 2 of them are done now. Please just send them. Yeah, contact Teresa. I think that goes for everyone. And then if is it Jill who's sending to Kelly? Okay, bye. Anyway, it might be worth skipping Kelly. Like, just preemptively. We're about to hit another block, right? So, like, I'm pretty sure I'm the only person in North America other than Kelly who still has a sketchbook. But I'm just before her. And it's done. So it might be worth directing. Like, I can, whatever, it's ready to send. Yeah, we can check there's a nice little graphic that Lana made. But yeah. So I think that, obviously, like, tell Kelly. I don't mean go behind her back. She can watch this. But I'd, like, be explicit about it. But it might be worth explicitly moving things along by sending, so I have Teresa's sketchbook now. My page in Teresa's sketchbook is done. It might be worth sending Teresa's sketchbook to Marla and Jill, and then straight to Sterling. Yeah. Anyway, hopefully we can, I believe that there's a couple sketchbooks that Bindi has. And then, yeah, there's a couple sketchbooks that Bindi has. There's a couple scattered in Europe. But, or there's a few, but there's, yeah. Bindi is a concern, not because she has that many sketchbooks, but because we haven't been able to get in touch with her. And then with Kelly, she's been very communicative, but just with or without sketches, those sketchbooks need to move. Good sleepy girl. Yes, you're a good sleepy girl. Good Ember. Oh yes, Ember's a good girl. Yes, we have found that is the issue with sketchbook exchanges. That was the issue with the Botanical Artists sketchbook exchange. Although that one is largely resolved, I have some sketchbooks from that need to go to a couple people, but the other cycle eventually everyone got there. Our cycle will actually complete. I need to send one sketchbook forward and one sketchbook back, so the very sweet man who sends to me, there was a lost sketchbook. Like the mail lost it and I replaced it. Sorry, everyone gets to hear my fire alarm. Sorry, buddy. I know, that's very annoying, isn't it, Ember? Let me try to deal with that. Wait. Oh, okay, good. Done. Oh, and my leg's asleep. I think it's more like something on the stovetop got a little bit overdone. That's the first time I've heard Destiny set off the fire alarm. Oof. When I cook, we have a very, very sensitive smoke alarm. Sorry. And the airflow through our house means it gets set off very easily. When I cook, I'm a mess. Is the studio burning now? No, 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 no. Hi, Lana. We were just talking about a sketchbook exchange and some backups. I don't think there's been any word from Kelly since she promised she could send off some sketchbooks in the last couple days, but I feel like I need to track down Bindi, but it's probably just a matter of finding some. She's probably just not on Discord. And just make sure that we still have up-to-date address and she's still involved and etc. I don't think that's an issue as soon as we track her down. And then the other concern is just, unfortunately, Kelly's been great about staying in touch, but hasn't really been able to send sketchbooks. Not the first time I was called a llama. But so I have Teresa's sketchbook. It's been done for quite a while, but I am actually just a couple people before Kelly. I'm probably the only person in North America other than Kelly who still has sketchbooks. I just have the one. It's been done for months. And I think we may just need to talk to Kelly about skipping her. About, you know, she can send along some sketches to other people. I mean, the truth is, honestly, Sterling has not received any sketchbooks. And so at this point, it's just, in order to get things moving, like, happy to have her paste in, you know, send out paintings to paste into a sketchbook. Like, if she wants to do that 7 years from now, that is totally fine. I think we need to send along some sketchbooks without Kelly sketches. You know, I've been trying to persuade Kelly to do that. Just send along the sketchbooks. Doesn't matter what's in them. You don't need to sketch in them. It's totally okay. And then, but then I think the other side of that is also just, it's clearly difficult for her to even get out to a post office, which I understand. I've been there. Actually, in fact, I had some stuff that I needed to mail to both Alex and Kelly a few years ago that took over a year to finally get out. So I definitely understand. I've been there. I've seen it. I've experienced it. It's not a judgment thing. But it is, you know, just for the sake of getting things moving, it might make sense to send, you know, the sketchbook I have and any future ones that come in until Kelly's caught up. Just send them straight from Jill to Sterling. I think that's the jump. It's Jill to Sterling. Or Marla to Sterling, whoever. We added one in the middle, and I forgot who I changed. Whether I changed from Marla to Jill or Jill to Marla. What we ended up deciding there years and years ago, but no, sure, I've only been compelled to remember Kelly, Sterling, Alex, Lana. We all have these things we mean to send out and then it takes years. No blame there. Yeah, no, like, it's, I've been there so clearly, like, and, you know, in some ways, like, I have a commission from, like, the sweetest client in the world right now that, that has just languished for literally years because she's the sweetest client in the world. And it's so bad, it's so bad, and I need to just, whatever, that's my, it's actually now the last bit is done, and I just need to send it along to her, but, like, I've been there. And health issues just, you know, they come up and then you're just like gasping when you feel better, like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then you're gonna do this, and also the million other things that I get it. But even just for Kelly's sake, I think, you know, okay, focus on, like, send whatever you've got along, and that's a win, and then, yeah. Marla Kelly Sterling is now on the chart. Right, okay. Yeah. Right, okay. So we added Marla after... Yeah. Alright, that makes sense. Because Marla joined in, like, one swap late, basically. Yeah. So, I think I'll just reach out to, I'll reach out to Marla, and maybe she can send directly to Sterling, and then... Sorry! Okay, I'm gonna go deal with that. I'll be right back. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, sorry. The yeah, Ember just sort of whines and looks at me piteously. Although she's outside right now. the breaker controlling our fire alarm is now off. So you won't hear it again. We'll flip it back on later. It's not, it's, there's some nice, skillet, naan being made, and it looks really good. Anyway, but also there's actually cinnamon rolls here. That sounds great. These are so good. Oh my goodness. Big win. Amazing. Neuron sort of vanishes under furniture when the fire alarm goes off, which is obviously not ideal. Okay, bye! Also, it's snowing outside now. Like, we got quite a bit of snow. It's been a weird few weeks because the weather's all over the map. We had a really mild winter. And then a couple weeks ago, we had like a week of like really, really warm weather. I wonder what our summer will be like. Last summer was super wet, and the summer before was super dry. Of course, last summer I also moved from a garden, a community garden that was up higher up, on higher ground, to a community garden that's like very low down by the creek. And so it's very, very wet. And there was definitely some concerns of too much moisture that I was not prepared for. We lost a lot of tomatoes to late blight, which is the first time I've ever seen like a crop get completely destroyed by late blight here. Like it's not, we do get late blight, like it's not unheard of, but usually our summers are drier until it gets until later in the season when it's getting colder. Then we'll get late blight, but by that point we've already had our big tomato harvest. It was really wet at the second half of the summer last year, so like the peak tomato season, it was like just as all the tomatoes were ripening, late blight just completely destroyed the harvest. So we missed the second half of the harvest, which was very strange. let's just say it was a strange year overall. It was the last couple of years. It was like we had the previous year there was just basically no rain at all summer. And we'd see the weather maps, and every so often there'd be a storm system, and there'd be rain expected, and it would just break just over our city. Like it would go, like, you know, it would hit the city to the west and the city to the east, but not us. It would just like break right over my house. Like, come on, I need some some rain. And also, this winter was really mild. The previous winter was really cold. Now, there's a few positives to that. Certainly the very mild winter. I have managed to now establish a hardy rosemary. So the first year is always the challenge, and there's a few rosemary cultivars. Most rosemary does not survive. I'm in like a zone, a USDA zone 5/6. Like, I think we're originally a zone 5, but you know, it's heading towards zone 6. And then I have a very protected microclimate. So in my yard, not the community garden, but my personal property, it's really more of a zone 6 with some bits of zone 7. There are definitely a few rosemary cultivars that could survive that. Except that we have like freeze winters, so and they're longer than your average zone 7. So like treat it as a zone 6 with protection. There are some rosemary cultivars that should be able to survive it, but you need to get them acclimatized, settled in, and I tried for a couple of years and failed, and I have a rosemary outside that's thriving. So it's totally fine, and I think now that it's settled in, it'll have no problem with future winters, like even if we have a harsher winter, which is great. Likewise, I had been trying to start Maypop. So there's a project to develop hardier Maypop passion fruit. So again, this is something that's like zone 7, borderline zone 6, and I'm zone 6, borderline zone 5. So there has been this project to develop hardier strains of Maypop passion fruit, taking seed, collecting seed from the northernmost end of the natural range, like in Pennsylvania, and then growing them in colder climates. And so I tried this a couple of times now because I was working from seed and they're really tricky to germinate. I always had trouble getting enough of like a plant that was large enough to settle in, to really root in that first summer. And so I tried for 2 years, and then last year I didn't actually have seeds, but I did, so I had some extra soil that I'd reused, and I had some seeds that I thought weren't viable that, I accidentally sprouted myself a Maypop. And so then my accidental Maypop, I planted it in my community garden, was not expecting much, and it took off. It was huge last year and flowering and beautiful and went way better than any of my previous attempts, and I was a little bit concerned because previous attempts I had planted at my house, which is more sheltered, warmer. But this, because we had a mild winter, I'm pretty sure it actually should be fine, and I will see maypop again grow in that spot, which is great. And I'm gonna have to get another little start or start some seeds. I think there's a place I can get the start. I don't even need it to be super duper hardy. And hopefully then I can yeah, grow my own maypop. That should be fun. So I have one, but you generally need two for good pollination and to produce fruit. And I need the fruit to get more seeds to, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go get myself another one of those cinnamon rolls because they're so good! So good. So good. What do you make with that? Okay, so maypop is a variety of passion fruit. It's a passion flower. It's in the passion fruit family. There's different kinds of passion fruit. It is usually when you buy passion fruit, it's one of the tropical varieties. But maypop has a similar flavor. In fact, it's a little bit sweeter. It just, it's a little bit seedier than most of the tropical commercial varieties. However, it is native to North America, and is native to just south of here. I think its range stretches very nearly into Canada. And with climate change, it's like, well, we could grow our own passion fruits. Why are we importing them? I like passion fruit in various sweets and drinks and yogurt. It's also just, kind of a fun thing to be able to grow tropical fruits in Canada. The flowers are so pretty. It boggles my mind that maypops are not more widely grown as a decorative plant or even like as a crop, because not only are they're a passion fruit, you can eat the passion fruit, but also if you look at the different like all of the passion flowers are gorgeous, but frankly I think that maypop is one of the prettiest ones, personally. Like it's got pinky purple and it's got like very like the little tendril things, they're like huge and curly. It surprises me because like you can get passion flower as an annual here. Like it's a common decorative, but usually when you get passion flower as an annual, what they will sell you is the blue passion flower, which doesn't produce edible fruits. So first of all, it's also less hardy than maypop, American passion flower. It's native to South America, and its flowers are less spectacular. It just flowers earlier. And there's always this, like, we always overlook what's local and try to get something that's, oh, like, this is cool because it's you know, foreign and interesting. So even though, like, along the entire U.S. eastern seaboard, like, up to New England, you've got native maypop passion fruit, but apparently it's just, you know, because it's so prevalent, and people just think, oh well, you know, the fruits are ugly and they, whatever. Like, really. I've been working because I do want to draw mine, and I'm gonna have to do a 3D model. Like, I'm gonna have to something to draw these because they're so complicated. They absolutely are. But like, I've been working. Yeah, like I think I'm gonna have to do like a physical model with some plates and stuff to try to get like the 3D shape of all of these different bits. Hi, Mikey. So I'm still working on this thing. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness, I hope you're okay. Both of those things sound very scary. Yeah, because that's a way to put my own health various concerns into perspective. Wow. Well, I hope whatever they do find that that you get good treatment options. Bye, Paolo. I think I might be off myself shortly, actually. I need to have myself some supper. Good. Nice to hear. Yes. Bye. Yes. Bye. All right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna head off. Actually, it was great to see everyone. Mikey, good luck with your day of testing. I hope they find something they can treat. I will be back to finish this at some point. I'll probably throw on a private stream for anyone who wants to watch, either tonight or possibly tomorrow. Yeah. You're moving me to another unit. Okay. All right. Anyway, bye everyone. I'm just gonna pull this off right now so that there's a little like, here's what's going on with this painting. There. That's about it, right? Yes. Anyway,